everyone, and a kakalaki common cheers from the brewing company at Hilton Head North End. We do recommend all, locally brewed beers anywhere we go by guidance, and lucky for us, we have very good items. The guidance of the day today was no wheat baby, so we're doing rye, malt, oat beers just for the time being. Cheers. And so this is a fantastic galactic confederate message for all in creation. I am still getting some resistance from, some beings in cars. They have a thing or two to say about my ways, However, for the most part, the visibility field has super increased. So, I'm just standing there waiting to cross the road on a bike, and all the cars, they eye to eye me, they bow their heads, they wave, everybody's being super courteous. We're already on the next level. So the visions was, I'm gonna literally, by no time, know in person every single real American on earth. And so since we gave this session to the managerial team at Planet Fitness, and things have been really speeding up at the speed of light, I can now see when they look at me in the room who's working and needing to go toward heaven, not the grave. Because now you're all working anyway, but you're working towards the grave. And you're just prolonging, the nightmare a tad by working out to just mark points. But all the stories about all these beings who's super healthy, they don't eat nothing chemical, yada yada, and then they swim every day in the ocean for 15 hours or whatnot. They never drink alcohol, only eat vegetarian, and then they die from a stroke at 40 or whatnot. So for eternity purposes, I am now literally so much more integrated. So I am able to be out of problem consciousness, since we're dealing with, the reality of removing the danger of having any people sending my way, experimental boys to so-called help me. But then because I help people at a heaven of strata of value, then these boys, by the same token, get taken down by the team of femmes who are so-called the side, breeding, whatever you call that thing, they think that that's normal, the whole clonatic situation. Now, I have received information yesterday that a lot of this is based on my appendix being, used for, these purposes. And now you have to remember, in old paradigm terms, vampirism is really cool, meaning, sexual power has been used for a long time now in all corporations. The people, they'll just look into, if you go down on your boss, say, you will get the higher position. And they're using this in very strong fashion against me, meaning they'll put somebody in my presence, and they're using weed against love too, meaning one, that's why they're not legalizing weed, because they're using it against love, meaning they're having those boys on weed, or those vapes or whatever. Now I understand more about why the old paradigm can't comprehend the new paradigm needs. So they're using this weed in order to get these boys to enter my field with the other beings that are spying on me, in order for, if I don't join the old paradigm and break down heaven, then they're going to use their courts against me and everything else against me, which is not the way this works at all. So in heaven, weed is a medicinal plant that is used. Cannabis is to heal cancerian infestations of organs and beyond. So the more now I'm going to have people get sessions and understand, which today was so clear to me. I mean, I was just seeing their heaven form, their eternal form, and I couldn't but go say, here's your ticket. Because as soon as they take the cards, the energies completely activate, and then they get guided. You know, whenever they take they take the step to make the call to get their 72-hour later upgrade in 1 hour, and put that, you know, the cash on the table and whatever else, then the etheric manifests quicker because I'm not harming anybody on the physical. So I urge anybody from the court system or the federal system who's trying, and I understand you're trying to help me by sending me these beings. However, you got to understand that you're harming the beings by putting them in supreme great danger, by having them lose their innocence to that duality that broke the whole planet down. So please be more mindful, since you do have a mind still, of these factors, and I thank you in advance. Now, I do trust that my anchor yesterday, you know, I captured his last moments of innocence. I watched him in all his glory and loving himself, gave back all his powers, so he shall be safe. Now, he will need time to heal, because this is very traumatic, to then have to receive a lookalike me that's gonna like drink him down and take him all out and drain him, when he has been so-called saving sperm for, you know, honoring me, which I give right back to him for him to maintain and conserve. And I was mindful of his divine partner that I saw. He has an actual significant other that needs to come into his life, but because he was probably sent by those who say we don't care that we have a divine partner, and I'm like, really, you don't care? He's like, no, I don't really care. I was like, well, what if she cares? He's like, I don't care still. I'm like, what if you see her with another? He's like, I don't care. So the divine consciousness is still not ingrained in the field, and I will be the last one to steal anybody and diverge them from their divine path for selfish purposes, because I always come last. I'm always there. Even in the old paradigm, I give them all the rope they need. If they need to eat on top of my account, make noise, yell, scream, express themselves, get pissed, poison me, I take it all, I transmute it. That's my job as an archea, archangelic being. So just for you all to know, this is not a Game of Thrones of ego, like, oh my God, let's see who's the biggest vampire, who's gonna suck more dick, and who's gonna be more powerful by the power of ingesting sperm. That's a very old and outdated game. That's the same as the only sin, you know, transgressing Holy Spirit is the only sin that is irredeemable. So these people that took sessions from me to make pretend they're me, to play that sick game, whatever it is, they're really digging their grave into hell more and more every day, and they're trying to take these people that come into my presence down too. Now, I have been doing my best to avoid that for my lovers, givers, beings of the highest light. Now, I also know in ego, you know, people like now, you know, like they're playing, you know, oh, you know, let me go. One being goes like, let me go, da 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 da. Now this shift is called a total shift. Black is white, white is black. You will have to stop discriminating, because I am now honestly redeeming also all the slavery black projection thing. Like, if you guys think that those black people that you all are racist toward, that you say, oh, what did your mommy tell you? And then they go to the fridge. I don't know what this is. This is like slavery consciousness in your terms, but that's old paradigm. For actually, now we're gonna actually be the shift. So all these, you know, beings will actually be, the last will be first in the goddessdom. And this is not about black or white. This is not about nothing at all. This is about heaven rules. And, you know, if a being has been so-called saving their sperm, that's a very holy act toward the divinity of the divine encounters. That's why if you guys are playing Games of Thrones and keeping those people on the side to try to make me compete with them, you're harming yourselves and the people and all in creation. And I'm working really hard to maintain plasmatic levels at a polluted state of being. And on that topic, I will, you know, just also say, like last moments at the gym, soon as I just pulled out my lipstick and I just you know, freshened up my lips, the sun was shining and everything. So soon enough, I know it's a tough day for everyone today. It rained. It was not really part of the, suppositional happenings. Nature is still being emotionally affected, and it's not me. When it rains, really, it's not because of me. It's because of the pain of the masculines that are being raped. This has nothing to do with me, okay? So, God, heaven bless, Goddess speed, and may all in creation understand that message. Vampirism and sperm robbery through, the eyes of the soul, and the eating food in the presence of, and then their sperm, so-called, becomes that to feed whoever